Jim, last one for me has to do with perhaps my favorite Philly, and he's taking the mound tonight. Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
This guy just answers the bell all the time in big game spots, bullpen, starter, whatever. What do you think his like realistic ceiling kind of is? I think on some teams he could possibly be a two, but here with the Phillies, obviously he's got two great pitchers ahead of him. How good can Ranger Suarez be?
Yeah, I don't pay a lot of attention to the number thing because we talk about number ones, and I think it can be overstated. I think there's very few number ones in the game, very few aces. But what matters is you're a good pitcher and you keep your team in the game that day. I mean, I hear people say Aaron Nola is a 2 or 2.5 or 3 on some days. Who cares? All I know is he's a darn good pitcher. And last night he pitched like a number one. Ranger Suarez, what's his ceiling? An all-star. All-star. A guy could, get to 200 innings. Um, Maybe the best is yet to come. He was kind of that slow and steady guy that continues to put it together. He's found good health. And, he's a location guy. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Cliff Lee in terms of his demeanor. Get the ball, throw the ball. Nothing phases him. Doesn't matter what role he pitches. And if you remember a couple of years ago, he pitched in like 3 different roles, right? He was a closer, he was a long man, then he was one of their best starters. So, uh, I don't care if he's a number 3. Tonight he has the capability to go out there and be a number 1. He's that good. When he's hitting his spots, he's throwing his changeup, getting it into right-handers on their hands occasionally, working it away with that changeup. He's a really good pitcher, a real Phillies success story. They signed him out of Venezuela, Sal Agustinelli and his crew for $25,000. I mean, you look at the numbers that some of these young pitchers are getting, either in the domestic draft or in the free agency in Latin America. This is a guy that was a soccer player and a baseball player, great athlete, wanted a chance to pitch, and boom, slowly but steady climbs the ladder. Seems to get better every year. Great intangibles in terms of poise, in terms of executing, in terms of location, the ice water in his veins cliche. Heck of a pitcher. You might see the best year of his career this year.
Love it.
Ooh, I would love that.
Yeah,
Well,
Ricky Batalico says Cy
yeah,
Young candidate.
he's been
Why
getting
not? I
some
mean, why not? You know how you win a Cy Young? You pitch
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
exactly,
And
exactly.
he's capable of pitching good.
Yeah.
And you do it consistently. Every fifth day, you go out there, you keep your team in the game, you pitch well. Um, he's got all the ingredients to be a very good major league starting pitcher. He already is.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely, definitely. And everybody loves Ranger. I know in the chat they're talking about how adorable he is and how he's Mr. Smooth Operator. But
He's
Jim,
and he's as good a guy as you would think by looking at him. He's just a really good, easygoing, easy smile. I did a story a few years ago on him, and his family's back home in Venezuela, and the whole family comes to his house when he pitches, and they have a party every time he pitches. They watch the game on TV. So, yeah, he's a good one. But still, the weather's getting better. They need to start hitting because hand in hand with pitching, your pitcher is out there trying to prevent runs. You got to score them some runs. They're 0-4 with Zach Wheeler on the mound.
Runs
You
produced
yeah,
can't
for him,
be that
Jim.
way with your ace. You got to get Rangers some runs. I mean, extra base hits have been very difficult to come by for this team. It would be nice if they racked up a few tonight, so it's not life and death in the 8th and 9th inning like it was last night, and put some runs on the board and let Ranger cruise a little bit.